Session is now called to order. Please rise for the invocation to be delivered by Honorable Rita Lopez of the Lone District of San Jose del Monte City.
Dear Lord, before we begin our session today, we take a moment to thank you for this opportunity to be here, working together toward a common goal of serving the country and the Filipino people through our work at the House of Representatives. Guide us, Lord, so that we may be united in the spirit of mutual respect and exchange of ideas and aspirations, not as individual entities, but as one in the service of our country and our fellow Filipinos. As always, we seek our guidance and inspiration in all our thoughts and decisions. Strengthen us as we make tough decisions. Dear Lord, finally, as members of the House of Representatives and your children, we pray that you mold us to become vanguards of integrity, of honesty, of discipline, of morality, of compassion, and of service to others. All these things we beg and pray in the name of our Lord and Savior Christ, Jesus. We place you at the center of this. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bakaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng waraming pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga ating magmamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we take up a reference of business and that the Secretary General be directed to read the same. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to read House bills on first reading.
Reference of business, bills on first reading. House Bill number 6244, establishing a nursing home for homeless and abandoned elderly Filipinos in every province and another separate nursing home for every city in the Philippines by Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Special Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill number 6245, converting the provincial road stretching from Siocon, Zamboanga del Norte to the boundary of the Roseler, Lim, Zamboanga, Sibugay into a national road to be known as the Siocon-Kanatuan National Road by Representative Amatong.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill number 6246, converting the road stretching from the boundary of Gotalak, Barangay Mamawan to Barangay Kauswagan, all in Baligian, Zamboanga del Norte, into a national road to be known as the Gotalak-Baligian National Road by Representative Amatong.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill number 6247, reforming the country's basic education system by Representative Salceda.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill number 6248, professionalizing paralegal practice in the Philippines, creating for the purpose a professional regulatory board of paralegals by Representative Silverio.
to the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation,
House Bill number 6249, renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Real Radio Network Incorporated under RA 8717 by Representative Remulla.
to the Committee on Legislative Refranchises,
House Bill number 6250, renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Blockbuster Broadcasting System Incorporated under RA number 8726 by Representative Remulla.
to the Committee on Legislative Franchises,
House Bill number 6251, institutionalizing the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary by Representative De Losa Montalia.
to the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill number 6253, granting mental health wellness leave to all employees in the private sector by Representative De Los Santos.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill number 6257, granting additional benefits to prosecutors of the National Prosecution Service by Representatives Bustos and De Jesus.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill number 6258, codifying the alternative child care laws, reorganizing the Intercountry Adoption Board into the National Authority for Child Care by Representative Defensor Michael.
to the Committee on Welfare of Children,
House Bill number 6259, granting all municipal mayors, city mayors, and provincial governors the appropriate civil service eligibility by Representative Palma.
to the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation,
Resolutions. House Resolution number 707, commending Joshua Pasio, Stephen Loman, and Edward Fulayang for their exemplary contributions to Benguet and to the field of mixed martial arts by Representative Yap Eric.
to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development,
House Resolution 708, congratulating and commending Filipino tennis junior champion Alexandra Alex Iala for winning the Australian Open Juniors Doubles title held in Melbourne Park, Australia on January 31, 2020 by Representative Martinez.
to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development,
House Resolution 709, expressing congressional commendation to the personnel of the DOH, the Foreign Service, Philippine Overseas Labor Offices, Bureau of Immigration, Bureau of Quarantine, and those workers from the private sector for their individual sacrifices, devotion to duty, and patriotism so as to prevent the outbreak of NCOV-ARD in our country by Representative Mendoza.
to the Committee on Rules,
Communications. Letter dated January 22, 2020 of Juanito Victor C. Remulla, Governor, Office of the Provincial Administrator, 13 Martires City, Cavite, submitting the quarterly financial report of operations on the conditional matching grant to provinces for road repair, rehabilitation, and improvement for fiscal year 2017 to 2019 CMGP for the ending of fourth quarter 2019.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
Letter dated January 23, 2020 of Edmund B. Kirov, OIC City Mayor or MOC City, transmitting the report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation for the quarter ended December 30, 2019 on the Local Government Support Fund, financial assistance to local government units, and on the Local Government Support Fund assistance to cities.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
Letter dated January 27, 2020 of General Ricardo R. Visaya, Administrator, NIA, submitting the calendar year 2019 fourth quarter report for Mindanao Sustainable Agrarian and Agriculture Development Project.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
Letter dated January 27, 2020 of Secretary Ramon M. Lopez, Chairperson, Export Development Council, submitting the EDC Consolidated third and fourth quarter report for 2019.
to the Committee on Trade and Industry,
Letter dated January 28, 2020 of Ernesto M. Pernia, Secretary NEDA, submitting the NEDA's list of foreign retailers selling high-end or luxury goods as of 20 August 2019.
to the Committee on Economic Affairs,
Letter dated January 29, 2020 of Eduardo M. Anyo, Chairman, National Police Commission, furnishing the House with a copy of NAPOLCOM 2019 year-end report.
to the Committee on Public Order and Safety,
Letter dated January 30, 2020 of Ernesto M. Pernia, Secretary, NEDA, submitting the NEDA's physical report of operations as of December 31, 2019.
To the Committee on Economic Affairs.
Letter dated January 31, 2020 of Alan V. Bornas, Officer in Charge, Land Bank of the Philippines, submitting the report on the utilization of funds for the Unconditional Cash Transfer Program 4th Quarter, Calendar Year 2019.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated February 3, 2020 of Mario G. Lipana, Director 3, OIC Regional Office, Region 4, COA furnishing the House with copies of the calendar years 2015 to 2018 annual audit reports on certain water districts.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated February 5, 2020 of Roderick A. Oncaranceja, President, Calapan Waterworks Corporation, submitting their operational report for year 2019.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
2018 Annual Report of the Basis Conversion and Development Authority.
To the Special Committee on Basis Conversion.
Full Speed Ahead, 17th National Health Research Forum for Action, held on September 19 to 20, 2018 at EDSA Shangri-La Hotel, Mandaluyong City of the DOH.
To the Committee on Health.
Committee Report, Report number 231 of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development on House Resolution number 716.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, at this juncture, may we recognize the guests of Honorable Jeffrey D. Conghun, Representative 1st District, Zambales. They are the staff from the Office of the Vice Governor and the Office of Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Zambales, who are headed by Vice Governor Jefferson Conghun, Edwin Reyes, Evelyn Jimena, Jane Solano, Mark Anthony Agas, Angelito Aguja, Richard Espiritu, Sandifer Trimor, Elenita Samson, Concepcion Abungin, John Dale Sanchez, John Carlo Bardolia, Rina Katubay, Kevin Patrick Alehar, William Merto, Maria Teresa D. Panes, Jocelyn Pronto, Sonia Sebastian, Maria Lourdes 14, Godofredo Velasco Jr., Milagros Bendoy, Soledad Josafat, Eva Marcha, Arlene Esperas, Mary Joy de la Cruz, Ariel Hilario, Maria Ellen Corrales, Nora Jean May Borja, Teodoro Apostol, Gina Encarnacion, and Mr. Fermark Abdon.
The guest of Honorable Jeffrey Conghun from the Office of the Vice Governor and the Office of Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Zambales, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we defer the approval of the journal.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we again recognize the guests of Honorable Presley De Jesus of Vilreca Party List, Representative Sergio de Gooc of APEC Party List, Representative Adriano Ebcas of Acopadayon Filipino Party List, and Representative Godofredo Guia of Recoboda Party List. They are the 700 line workers from different electric cooperatives.
The guest of Congressman Pareja, Nampareca. Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we open the privilege hour. So move.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that the gentleman From Philreca Party List, the Honorable Presley De Jesus be recognized to avail of the privileged hour. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Representative Presley De Jesus of Party List Philreca is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My esteemed colleagues and beloved guests, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. Madam Speaker, it is a privilege to stand before you in this momentous occasion to honor the people that this representation stands for, the line workers of electric cooperatives, our warriors of lights. Madam Speaker, this representation is and will always be about our line workers who have tirelessly dedicated their lives in this advocacy. Marahil hindi alam ng nakakarami ang hirap at pagsasakripisyo ng ating mga line workers. Habang tayo ay ligtas at komportable sa loob ng sarili nating mga tahanan sa oras ng sakuna. Ang ating mga line workers ay patuloy na tinataya ang kanilang buhay sa ngalan ng tungkulin. Sila ang patutuo na buhay pa ang kultura ng bayanihan sa ating bansa. In the old times, Filipinos have always been known for our spirit of kinship and camaraderie, displayed through our culture of bayanihan. Before, within our barrios, people displayed bayanihan by moving houses, literally. And today, the term has evolved to refer to local civil efforts, regular Filipinos working together to uplift their fellow compatriots. This connection, the need to help one another, has been strengthened through the advancement of technology. Cries for help through different media platforms are answered instantaneously by our fellow men from all over the country. This increased connection cannot be achieved without that energy source that powers our devices, and that is electricity. We have our electric cooperatives who champion rural electrification and rural development. This same spirit of bayanihan has been displayed by the very people in our electric cooperatives, especially the line workers that we are honoring today. The Task Force Kapatid, initially launched in 2002 and now known as the Power Rapid Restoration Deployment Task Force, or we call it PRRD-TF. It's a volunteer service initiated by Philippine Rural Electric Cooperatives Association, or we call that PIRRECA, the Philippine Electric Cooperatives. The task force has been provided a platform for electric cooperatives to mobilize their personnel and logistics to assist other electric cooperatives needing immediate rehabilitation of distribution lines in times of calamities in order to speedily restore power service to member consumer owners and alleviate the plight of rural folks bearing the name Kapatid, recognizes how we see each other as brothers and sisters. Magkakapamilya po tayong lahat. Last year, two of the most severe typhoons, Typhoon Tisoy and Typhoon Ursula, wreaked havoc to parts of southern Luzon and Visayas, one after the other. According to reports, Typhoon Tisoy left at least 9 people dead and almost ₱1 billion in agricultural damages, and inevitably caused electric outages in 226 areas in regions 4B, 5, and Region 8. And as if Mother Nature is testing our resilience, Ursula unleashed its intensity right before Christmas, Madam Speaker. In some parts of Luzon and Visayas, according to NDRRMC reports, almost 500,000 houses were affected with 106,772 total damage. Madam Speaker, our brothers and sisters in the electric cooperative sector of the affected areas have experienced their fair share of these disasters. But when I heard that my constituents were in danger, the first thought that came to my mind was our task forces and their readiness to respond to this dire situation. I immediately called upon our electric cooperatives to mobilize our task forces. These task forces, which are composed of our very courageous line workers, were deployed at the earliest possible time during the restorations. And along with our representations here in the House of Representatives, the One Electric Cooperative Network Foundation, and unwavering support of the National Electrification Administration, nag-uunahan na sila magpakita ng suporta sa ating advokasya. Agad-agarang sumugot sa tawag ng bayanihan ang ating magigiting matitikas na mga lineman. Madam Speaker, this would not have been possible without the incredible support from the National Electrification Administration under the leadership of the brilliant NEA Administrator Edgardo Rama Masungsong, or the former Congressman of One Care. Salamat po, mahal naming Administrator, sa walang sawang pagsuporta nyo. On the top of the hazards that our line workers have to face in their everyday jobs, they were still kind enough to extend a helping hand when their kapatid in the different regions needed it. Isang tawag lang, sumagot agad sila doon sa mga bayang nasalanta ng bagyo. Inabot na sila ng Pasko at Bagong Taon na malayo sa kanilang pamilya, pero hindi sila nagreklamo na sa puso nila ang pagtulong sa kapwa Pilipino. Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, this is cooperativism at its best. Cooperativism at its best, at its truest sense. Everyone supports and never leave each other in times of relative stability, in times of need, and in times of calamities. Madam Speaker, is our genuine offering to our sister electric cooperatives and more especially to our member consumer owners. Madam Speaker, let me have this opportunity to address the fearless men that we have here today in the galleries and those who are not able to join us here due to other equally important duties that they need to attend to. Nandito po ang ating mga lineman, ang ating warriors of light. The warriors of light, you are the true testimony of the spirit of bayanihan. Kayo ang patunay na buhay ang kultura ng bayanihan sa mga Pilipino. Kayo po ang naglagay ng bayani sa bayanihan. Sa ngalan ng mga kooperatibang inyong natulungan, nais kong taus-pusong magpasalamat sa inyong serbisyo sa ating mga kapatid. Naway magsilbi kayong inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan. Naway patuloy ang matibay natin pagsasamahan. Paulit-ulit natin sinisigaw, united we stand united. The electric cooperatives in the Philippines will never be defeated. Madam Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to give our thanks to our hardworking linemen. Patuloy namin susulong ang pagbabayanihan sa ating mga kooperatiba at sa kapwa nating Pilipino. Muli, isang magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang One Easy MCO Movement. Mabuhay ang sambayanan Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, may we please recognize the Honorable Alfredo Garbin of Ako Bicol Party List for his manifestation.
Representative Garbin is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In behalf of the Bicolanos, the 6 provinces of the Bicol region, who have suffered the wrath of Typhoon Tisoy. Alam ho namin kung ano ang tulong ng Union of Lineman Association of the Philippines. 2 days after ng bagyong Tisoy, tinawagan ko si Kong Presley at kasamahan niya sa Power Boys, and he assured me that at least 100 linemans will be going to Bicol region, at least 100 linemans, at dadagdagan pa para i-disperse sa iba't ibang lalawigan, munisipyo sa Bicol region. Hindi nga tumagal, dumating sila, pagod na pagod, may mga bitbit na ekipahe upang i-restore kaagad yung mga nasirang poste, kable, at sa madaling panahon na ikabit na ibalik yung kuryente sa ibang parte ng Bicol region. Lalong laho-laho sa lalawigan ng Albay at nakita ko rin ho sa Camarines Sur at maging sa Sorsogon yung tulong ng Union of Lineman Association of the Philippines. Sana ho patuloy niyong gawin ito sa mga lalawigan, sa mga lugar na nasalanta ng bagyo o anuman na kalamidad. Malaki ho ang inyong nagagawa para mabigyan ng normalcy yung mga biktima ng kalamidad, lalong-lalo na ho yung bagyo. Kaya taus-puso kami nagpapasalamat ang ako Bicol Party List sa Union Lineman Association of the Philippines. Salamat ho at mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you very much, Congressman Garbin. Thank you very much, mga lineman. Salamat. Ako po ay taga Bicol din. We are very grateful. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Presley De Jesus of Philreco Party List and the manifestation of Representative Garbin of Ako Bicol Party List to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Lauren Legarda, Lone District of Antique, to avail of the privileged hour. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda of the Lone District of Antique is now recognized.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues in Congress, we are living our days in fear of even casual contact with each other. In fact, many of us wear masks here in session, in our offices, in our homes, in our vehicles, in public areas. Events have been canceled, travel plans have been canceled or changed, the public's attention consumed by a threat that the world has just woken up to, the 2019 novel coronavirus, a new strain of coronavirus first identified in Wuhan, Hubei, China in December last year. The latest news reports indicate that the World Health Organization has already given this virus findings. The sequences are 99% similar. That's the pangolin, and coincidentally, it was World Pangolin Day yesterday. Humans have cast pangolins as the latest villains in the animal kingdom. But have you all seen a pangolin? A gentler mammal we will not find, its elongated scaly body simply curling into a ball whenever it's under attack, nearly defenseless against hunters coveting its scales that are dubiously believed to have medicinal uses. Pangolin poaching has risen exponentially in the country in the past couple of years. Apprehensions of traders even exceeding the records for 17 full years prior. There are even restaurants already serving pangolin meat in Metro Manila, and prices can be up to 14,000 pesos per animal. A study by the conservation group World Wildlife Fund showed that the illegal wildlife trade is worth around $20 billion per year. It is the fourth biggest illegal trade worldwide and has significantly contributed to a catastrophic decline in the populations of some species. The Living Planet Index of the World Wildlife Fund and the Zoological Society of London indicate that populations of thousands of animal species around the world have declined 60% on average since 1970. Extinction rates are currently 10 times faster than in previous extinction events and across animal and plant taxa, hundreds of times up to tens of thousands of times faster than the background extinction rate. Moreover, a report last year by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services found that 1 million species are at risk of extinction. They rank the main factors as follows: changes in land and use, exploitation of organisms, climate change, pollution, invasive alien species. The intertwined web that sustains humans, plants, and animals is at risk of unraveling in a matter of decades. Despite all these, humans continue to extract wildlife from forests at more than 6 times the sustainable rate. Wildlife smuggling, trafficking, poaching remain rampant across many Asian countries. Legal and illegal trade for wild animals are still operational across the globe. The demise of one species may not be felt directly, but its intricate connection with other species in the wild will reverberate throughout the food chain. Multiple extinctions will lead to ecosystem spasm, where chains of extinctions will leave the ecosystems we depend on gasping for life. So this ongoing public health crisis is only one of many that will beset us if we continue to ignore warnings of scientists. If we continue on the path to a warming planet, as we seem to be doing, we could use this crisis in 3 ways: as a test of our current coping mechanism, as a drill for a future crisis, and as a wake-up call to the connection of this public health crisis to the destruction of biodiversity and ecosystems on which we all depend. We therefore laud, in a sense, the decision of the Chinese government to temporarily ban the sale of wildlife in all markets. But this temporary ban is only the beginning. We have an opportunity to make the necessary shift to avoid similar events in the future. The international community should collectively step up its efforts towards successfully regulating the wildlife trade. Let us end the unsustainable use of wildlife animals for food or for their perceived medicinal value. I call for a whole-of-government approach for the Philippines to recognize that overcoming threats like COVID-19 will require functioning local ecosystems, local sufficiency of prime commodities, avoidance of mass hysteria, and the ability to survive lockdowns. On the international front, I call on the United Nations, the WHO, and other international cooperation and instrumentalities to, number 1, reinforce the provisions of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, or CITES, on transformative change in wildlife conservation and management and in combating wildlife trafficking on all fronts. CITES should be the primary legal framework for regulating international trade in species of wild animals and plants. We must note, however, that only through adequate and efficiently enforced national policies can CITES really work. So member states, including the Philippines, should take decisive steps to ensure effective wildlife trade controls on all fronts. Second, ensure an ambitious, meaningful, and inclusive post-2020 global biodiversity framework. The Conference of Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity will adopt a post-2020 global biodiversity framework as a stepping stone towards the 2050 vision of living in harmony with nature. That phrase sounds like a cliche until nature teaches us hard lessons such as what's happening now. Armed with the latest science, enriched by indigenous knowledge systems, we must deepen our understanding of our ecosystems and what levels of change they can sustain. We need to ensure equitable access and benefits associated with biodiversity. Third, develop improved science-based standards, guidelines, and recommendations on disease prevention, detection, control. We need to develop international policies on wildlife disease prevention, monitoring, and control that will enable governments to safeguard biodiversity and public and animal health worldwide. This will include policy framework on disease risk management, catering to have ignored the laws of nature to our peril. It is time to heed her warnings. In short, do not eat what is not intended for human consumption. Do not trade what should not be traded. We must relearn to coexist with animals and their habitats. We have so many laws in place, but we need to treat them as measures for survival rather than mere obstacles to the relentless pursuit of an economic future that will be mired in new dangers. We will not survive this and other coming changes unless we value the intricate interrelationships of all life on Earth, unless we see that the rules of the game have changed, and we need a fundamental shift in the way we live. From what we eat, from how we travel, how we manage our discards, to how we do business, and how we even treat each other. This august body has to forge new ways to support these changes with policy. With human creativity and a deeper understanding of our planet, we have the human capacity to overcome this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that the speech of Deputy Speaker Legarda be referred to the Committee on Rules.
The speech of Deputy Speaker Legarda is remanded to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend the privilege hour.
Is there an objection? Chair hears none. The suspension of privilege hour is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we call the roll of members.
The Secretary General is directed to call the roll.
Roll call of members, honorable representatives, Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg Saldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Genaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Omentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Bañas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barsaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilia, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulut, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Kanama, Kawagdan, Kari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredenil, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano Maria Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Ko Angelica, Ko Elizaldi, Cojuangco, Colliantes, Crisologo, Cua, Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Datol, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar, De Los Santos, Deloso Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Farinas Ria Cristina, Farinas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet Marie, Ferrer Luis John John, Flores, Fortune, Fortuno, Frasco, Puentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed Christopher, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio Dong, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Carlo Lisandro, Goriseta, Guico, Gulias, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Haloshos, Javier, Jimenez, Ko Eliza, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho Jonas, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanyaon, Uwaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ortega, Uwano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sangkopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Savellano, Siao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuwat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alaysa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherney, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Eduardo Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Zarate, Subiri. Madam Speaker, the roll call shows that 233 members responded to the call.
With 232 members responding to the call, the chair states 233. The chair. With 233 responding to the call, the chair hears a quorum. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we consider on third reading House Bill number 137 and direct the Secretary General to read the title of the said measure and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting. So move.
The Secretary General is directed to read House Bill number
Madam Speaker.
137 and call the roll for nominal voting.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
Representative Atienza is now recognized.
Again, we are amazed by the count of the Secretariat on the roll call. There are 127 of us present physically on the floor, but they announced that 232 in attendance. May I inquire where the 106 who are not physically present are right now?
Majority Leader. Majority Leader. Will you please answer the query of the gentleman?
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend the session.
Session suspended. Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, in response to the remarks of the Honorable Atienza, we would like to manifest that of the number counted by the Secretary General, we have 43 members who are not physically present on the floor but are considered present according to our rules. We have 11 members who are attending the meeting of the Commission on Appointments. We have 7 members who are on official travel. 15 members are attending the meeting of the Special Committee on Flagship Programs and Projects, and 10 members are attending the meeting of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education. And so we reiterate, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, that we do have a quorum and we stand by the count of the Secretary General. And with that, Madam Chair,
Madam Speaker,
I move that we
request that we be given a chance to question further. Upon hearing the explanation of the Majority Leader, is saying that 43 could still be considered present.
Yes.
Granting that the number cited by the Majority Leader is accurate, they are indeed authorized to be outside of the session hall. 43 plus 127 is 170. We would grant the fact that we may have a considered quorum, but not an actual quorum. So for as long as we do not vote for any measure, we will not question the figures cited by the Majority Leader. But if we are going to vote on any measure, then we will insist that only the physically present be allowed to vote. Otherwise, this will be a violation of our rules, violation of fundamental parliamentary rules, violation of the people's trust, violation of everything we stand for. We do not vote, fine. But if we vote on any measure, anyone who votes should be physically present. Otherwise, you're further making a mockery of the congressional proceedings. Thank you.
Duly noted, Congressman Atienza. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we concur with the manifestation of the Honorable Atienza. Those who are not physically present but deemed present will not be part of the voting, and only those who are physically present in the hall will be able to vote on the matters that we will consider this afternoon.
Noted. Secretary General is now directed to read House Bill number 137 and call the roll for nominal voting.
House Bill number 137, an act imposing stiffer penalties for child abuse, exploitation, and discrimination, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 7610 as amended. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill number 137. Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg Zaldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Genaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondoc, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Kawagdan, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan Peter, Cayetano Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Coanco, Colliantes, Crisologo, Cua, Cuaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Datol, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, De Maporo Abdullah, De Maporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Ergel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Frere Juliet, Frere Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo John, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio Dong, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Carlo, Guroseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Jaresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halushos, Javier, Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazutin, Diachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magunda Dato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad Nagaño, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Núñez Malañaon, Huaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ortega, Uwano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salaw, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmento, Saulug, Savellano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tianco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Val Mayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Yolago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate, Zubiri.
With 228 voting in the affirmative, 0 negative, 0 abstentions, House Bill Number 137, an act imposing stiffer penalties for child abuse, exploitation, and discrimination, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 7610 as amended, is now approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker.
I move that the Secretary General be directed to transmit
Madam Speaker.
House Bill number 137 as approved on third reading
Madam
to the Senate.
Speaker,
Majority Leader.
as we warned earlier, we would not allow those who are not physically present to be counted in the voting. But it seems the Secretariat still counted those who are not physically present. Only 146 now are present on the floor. So the total number of votes should be counted not more than 146. You may have a quorum with those absent counted as members with permission to be absent. But they cannot vote. That is going to be a mockery of a good measure. I voted yes for this measure, but I will not allow this measure to be questionable in its passage. Wala po tayong members na 100, na 220 on the floor. Saan nanggagaling yung boto? Imagination? Invento? Hindi po batas yan. At sayang ang pagod ng mga sponsors ng batas na yan sapagkat maganda ang panukala, mali ang ating proseso. So we reiterate our point, Madam Speaker, the Secretariat cannot be allowed to continue doing this kind of shenanigan on official proceedings of the House. Wala po tayong 220 on the floor. Saan ang galing ang boto? Imaginary votes, I would call them.
Majority Leader, please take note.
Yeah. Yes, Madam Speaker. The Secretary General is so reminded, but they assure us that only those who are physically present on the floor were counted for voting. And with that, Madam Speaker, I reiterate my motion for the transmission of House Bill number 137, that the Secretary General be directed to transmit House Bill number 137 to the Senate.
The Secretary, is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to transmit
Objection.
House Bill number 137.
Objection.
Majority
As
Leader.
we objected earlier, we continue to object now unless we count the votes on the floor and not in the minds of the Secretariat. Wala po tayong 220 who voted, so they cannot invent a number just so this measure will be passed. Kailangan po totohanan ng ating trabaho sapagkat kung hindi, mawawala ng saysay ang ating ginagawang trabaho sa Kongreso ng Pilipinas.
Session suspended.
Hindi ka bumoto, binilang ka rin. Hindi kita nakita pa rin. Ano? Ano?
Kasi may mga...
Then, allow me to count. I will naturally count.
Thanks, Irene.
Tumatakbo. Ay, madam. Anak po ni Manang Early Multiple. Senator Marcelo. Hindi ko mapakilala kita kahit hindi sila ko constituent.
Hey, Manuel, how are you, bro? We were in Pix the other day. Yes, sir. Man, it's Anita. Ano eh, pagkari mo eh. Wala eh. Dental. Done with dental. Kagaling pa lang. Nagpapasaya.
Gusto niya pinano mo.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, with regard to the comments of the Honorable Atienza with regard to the count conducted by the Secretary General, the Committee on Rules assures the gentleman that any and all errors that may have been committed by the Secretary General with regard to our counting of the members present on the floor and with regard to voting will be rectified. The Majority Leader himself assures the gentleman that we will so rectify any errors committed.
And this is not a request. This is a demand coming from the floor, and this yours truly, that the Secretariat should not play around with the value of voting on the floor. You have not been elected. We are. You have not been sent by the people here. You are appointed by the powers that be. So we have a right to question your actions and decisions when we see that you are not following the rules, the basic tenets of parliamentary democracy. And so, Mr. Majority Leader, on this point and with this measure, we withdraw our violent reaction. But we continue to admonish the Secretariat. Do not play around with the calling of the roll, and do not play around with the votation that goes on the floor. You have not been elected by the people. You are appointed only. We are elected, and we have a duty to perform. So please, do your duty, and you'll keep your jobs. Otherwise, I will take my own personal moves to prove that there is a mockery of procedures going on today. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, before we continue, may we acknowledge the presence of the guests of the Honorable Estrelita Swansing, representative of 1st District of Nueva Ecija. We have with us the local government officials from Municipality of Santo Domingo, Nueva Ecija, namely the Municipal Mayor, Honorable Aimee de Guzman, Sangguniang Bayan members, Honorable Junior Bugawan, Honorable Arland Ryan Andres, Honorable Edgar S. De Leon Jr., Honorable Wilfredo Maniego, Honorable Olivia S. Pascual, Honorable Emerson Matias, and Honorable Ronnie De La Cruz.
The guest of Honorable Estrelita Swansing, please stand up. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we recognize the guests of Honorable Joseph Stephen Paduano of Abang Lingkod Party List. They are the professors and students of St. Mary's College, Quezon City, headed by former Undersecretary of the SWD, Ms. Lourdes Balanon, Ms. Amy Makaraig, Program Head, Mr. John Mora, Mr. Nishimura, Gabriel Mendez, Owen Casido, Jumil Alonte, Eloine Talan, Miljon Patenio, Rodney Lopez, Jelly Andaluya, Kristen Sen Zuelen, Jeneline San Carlos, Luisiana Olea, Denise Bagao, Farhana Maruhom, Stephanie Niebres, Erica Toledo, Darlene Gallardo, April de la Cruz, Julina Talan, Erica Gunday, Crystal Jade Gache, and Ms. Michelle Ko.
The guest of Honorable Paduano is now recognized. Please rise to be recognized. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Presiding Officer, Madam Speaker, we would also like to recognize the guests of our Majority Leader. Our representative from Magsasaka Party List, Honorable Argel Joseph Tika Batbat, from belonging to different farmers, cooperatives, and organizations of Northern Luzon Farmers Association. They are composed of 66 representatives from farmer sector and Magsasaka, if we can recognize them, Madam Speaker.
The guest of Honorable Joseph Kabatbat of the party list Magsasaka, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, also guests, we would like to also recognize a guest of our Minority Leader, Honorable Benny Abante. They are from officers of Taiwan Association Incorporated in the Philippines, Mr. Seimo Huang, Mr. Alan Lin, Mr. Chang Fulong, Ms. Wang Yahui, Mr. Richard Lee, Mr. Robert Uy, Mr. Momo Lin, Ms. Angie Chen, and Mr. Tom Lin.
The guest of Minority Leader Abante are recognized. Please, welcome to the House of Representatives.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker,
Representative Abante.
I just would like to make a manifestation, please, if my may
Yes,
be
you are
allowed.
recognized, Mr.
Yes,
Abante.
the guest that we have from Taiwan, who's actually based here in the Philippines, came just to thank the House of Representatives, particularly the Committee on Economic Affairs, headed by Congresswoman Sharon Garin, and the Committee on Tourism, headed by Congresswoman Sol Aragones. Because we raised the issue of the ban on Taiwan, Madam Speaker. Now, 2 days later, DOH lifted the ban because of the House of Representatives, and so therefore our Taiwanese friends are here just to thank us, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we reiterate our motion to have the Secretary General transmit House Bill number 137 to the Senate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is requested to transmit House Bill number 137 to the Senate. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I now move that we consider House Bill number 78 as contained in Committee Report number 5, and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the measure.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill number 78.
House Bill number 78, an act providing for the definition of public utility, further amending for the purpose Commonwealth Act number 146, otherwise known as the Public Service Act, as amended.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the parliamentary status is that we had terminated the period of sponsorship end debate. And now I move that we recognize the Honorable Sharon Garin, the chairperson of the Committee on Economic Affairs, to continue sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Sharon Green is recognized to sponsor House Bill number 78.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I now move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The period of amendments is hereby opened. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments. Period of committee amendments. Sorry, Madam Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The period of committee amendments is hereby closed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, earlier we distributed to all the members copies of the substitute bill to House Bill number 78. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Section 104 of our rules, I move to amend by substitution the entire bill as contained in Committee Report number 5 with the contents of the substitute bill earlier distributed to all the members. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I now move that we open the period of individual amendments.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I now move that we recognize the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro, Representative Rufus Rodriguez, for his chance to propose individual amendments.
Honorable Rufus Rodriguez is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And with the kind permission of the Honorable Speaker and the Madam Sponsor, I would like to introduce the following individual amendments to the substitute bill. On page 7, line 4, on section 7, amending the section 14 of the Public Service Act, please insert as number 3 the following phrase: in the interest of national security, comma, the restriction on foreign ownership imposed on public utilities under the 1987 Constitution shall continue to apply to a person that manages, operates, and controls public service involving air transportation. So move, Madam Speaker.
I accept, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Distinguished sponsor, thank you.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the majority concurs with the amendment.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Remigio is now recognized.
I wish to propose an individual amendment anterior to the one proposed by the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro.
Majority Leader. Suspended. Session suspended. Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker. I wish to propose an anterior amendment to the one proposed by the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro. Madam Speaker, on page 5.
Please proceed.
On the enumeration of public utilities, it's limited to 4 matters, Madam Speaker, A, B, C, and D. I suggest that I am proposing that for E, another matter, that we add telephone systems. F, internet and all the internet applications. And G, transportation. I so move, Madam
Honorable
Speaker, to
Garin.
include them.
Madam Speaker, the proposal of Congressman Remulla is not accepted by the committee, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the majority supports the sponsor in rejecting the proposed amendment.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Bukidnon, Representative Manuel Zubiri, for his chance to propose his individual amendments.
Representative Zubiri is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. With your permission, and of course, Madam Sponsor, may I introduce the following individual amendments.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. On page 7, line 17, replace the word may with the word shall.
I accept, Madam Speaker.
On page 30, line 23, replace the phrase under section 7 with the phrase pursuant to.
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
Ports and airports inclusion to public utility. On page 7, line 4, insert a new paragraph to be denominated as paragraph 3, followed by the following wordings. In the interest of national security, the restriction on foreign ownership imposed on public utilities under the 1987 Constitution shall continue to apply to a person that manages, operates, and controls public service involving Philippine ports and airports.
Madam Speaker, I accept, but since the similarity of the proposal of the previous amendment to the current proposal of Congressman Zubiri are similar, then I would like to propose a rewording so that we don't repeat the same paragraph. On page 7, line 4, on section 7, amending the section 14 of the Public Service Act, we can insert as number 3 so that it includes both proposals of Congressman Rodriguez and Congressman Zubiri. In the interest of national security, the restriction on foreign ownership imposed on public utilities under the 1987 Constitution shall continue to apply to a person that manages, operates, and controls public services involving air transportation, Philippine ports, and airports. Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the majority concurs with the amendment as worded by the chairperson, by the sponsor.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Okay.
Accepted. Accepted.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend the session.
Session suspended.
Yeah.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to propose individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The period of individual.
Madam Speaker, may I
Oh.
be allowed to come out and present my individual amendment? Very simple amendment at that, if that is acceptable to the Speaker.
Madam Speaker, we withdraw our earlier motion to close the period of individual amendments, and instead I move that we recognize Representative Go to propose amendments.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. Representative Go is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On page 5, line 1, the person, after the word person, we include or entity.
Accept, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the majority concurs with the amendment.
On the same page, line 15, after the person, you add or entity.
Accept, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we concur with the amendment.
I think that's all what I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that Representative Edsa Lagman be recognized.
Representative
Just a point of
Raghuman is
inquiry,
now recognized.
Madam Speaker. When there is an amendment by substitution to a bill, like in House Bill number 78, what is the procedure? Is it sufficient that the amendment by substitution be distributed to the members of the House? Or is there need for a prior action by the sponsoring committee to consider the amendment by substitution?
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, under our rules, an amendment by substitution is allowed after the period of committee amendments and before the period of individual amendments. The procedure is that the committee, the chairperson of the committee, will submit a draft of the proposed substitute bill to the Committee on Rules, and then this is later distributed to the members before we adopt the bill by substitution, as an amendment by substitution.
May we know whether this amendment by substitution was considered by the sponsoring committee before it was submitted to the members of the House?
Madam Speaker, the chairperson of the Committee on Economic Affairs tells us that it was so considered by her committee.
I beg your pardon, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, according to the chairperson of the Committee on Economic Affairs, Representative Sharon Garin, the substitute bill was indeed considered by her committee.
May we know whether there is a committee report adopting the amendment by substitution to attest to the fact that it was considered by the sponsoring committee?
Madam Speaker, according to our rules, the matter is a plenary action by the Majority Leader. There is no need for the committee to come up and submit a separate committee amendment. The proposed draft is submitted to the Committee on Rules, and the Majority Leader makes the motion on the floor.
Then how do we prove that the substitute, by the amendment by substitution has been considered by the sponsoring committee? What document would attest to such committee action?
Majority Leader, I think there was no objections before.
Yes, Madam
Majority
Speaker.
Leader.
Well, the Committee on Rules recognizes the transmission by the chairperson of the concerned committee, and the Majority Leader makes the appropriate motion on the floor.
The chair of a committee does not act alone. A committee is a collective body. So any action by the chair of the committee should be with the concurrence of the majority of the members of the sponsoring committee, just like an amendment by substitution.
Madam Speaker, once the matter is brought to the Committee on Rules, the matter is within the jurisdiction of the committee and the majority leader, and that is why it is only the majority leader that can make a motion to amend by substitution. And so once we receive, the Committee on Rules receives the transmission from the committee that they indeed propose an amendment by substitution on the floor, the matter is entirely up to the discretion of the Committee on Rules and the majority leader.
In other words, the majority leader is saying that the committee on rules has the sole power, jurisdiction, and authority to make a substitution, a wholesale substitution for a pending bill under deliberation.
Majority Leader.
That is correct, Madam Speaker. According to our rules, it is the majority leader, it's only the majority leader who can make the motion to amend by substitution.
Can we
and based upon the recommendation of the chairperson of the sponsoring committee.
Can we have that particular provision read for the record?
Yes.
That is the sole authority of the majority leader to make an amendment by substitution upon recommendation of the chair of the committee?
Yes, Madam Chair. The rule is found on Rule 13, Section 104, Paragraph 3, or Paragraph 2. A motion by the majority leader to amend by substitution of the entire bill or joint resolution shall precede consideration of individual amendments to the bill or joint resolution under consideration. And it is from that provision of the rules that the majority leader derives his authority to make the motion to amend by substitution.
Well, I understand that the Committee on Rules is in the process of introducing amendments or revising the rules of the House. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
And this revision is still ongoing?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
And most probably, we would suggest that one of the amendments should be that any amendment by substitution should go back to the sponsoring committee for the collective action of the proper committee.
Yeah, we take note of the manifestation of Representative Lagman. Madam Chair, the Committee on Rules would welcome any and all proposed amendments to the rules from our members.
Thank you, Majority Leader. And I have also proposed a number of amendments. I hope it would be considered by the committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. And we thank the gentleman from Albay.
Majority Leader.
With that, Madam Chair, I reiterate my motion that we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The period of individual amendments is hereby closed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 78.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move that we resume the privilege hour.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The privilege hour is now resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the next member wishes to avail of the privilege hour is the gentleman from party list Reco Boda. I move that Representative Godofredo N. Guya be recognized.
Representative Godofredo Guya of party list Reco Bada is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Our esteemed members of this chamber, magandang hapon po. I stand before this chamber on the matter of personal and collective privilege. This is a special day to honor our fearless or warriors of light Last December, our countrymen suffered the onslaught on Typhoon Tisoy and Ursula consecutively. These two disasters caused significant damage in the affected regions. In times of devastation like this, where crucial power and communication were compromised, the most important thing to do is to repair these critical infrastructures for faster recovery. And this, ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, is where our silent heroes came to work, our warriors of light. Kabilang po sa mga linemen na rumisponde at tumulong sa power restoration ay ang mga linemen mula sa Mindanao na kapwa nakaranas din ng trahedya dulot ng magkakasunod at malalakas na lindol. This is a testament on how selfless, resilient, and dedicated our warriors of light are. These linemen heed to their duty, offered their help, and worked tirelessly in order to immediately restore power and help rebuild lives while they themselves are still trying to recover from the series of earthquakes. Bukod sa pagsakripisyo ng kanilang oras, malayo sa kanilang pamilya, isinasakripisyo din nila ang kanilang buhay. Madam Speaker, lingid po sa kaalaman ng lahat, marami na pong mga linemen na nagbuwis ng kanilang buhay sa ngalan ng serbisyo. Kami po sa Power Block ay lubos na nagdadalamhati sa pagkamatay ng ating magiting na lineman na si Jose Pablo Biaco. Isa po siya sa mga linemen ng Capiz Electric Cooperative, Capelco, na tumulong maibalik ang kuryente sa mga lugar na napiktuhan ng bagyong Ursula. Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker, I would like to request a moment of silence for Mr. Biaco and for all the valiant fallen warriors of light. Gaya ni Mr. Biaco, ang ating mga linemen ay nagtatrabaho kahit sa pagdiriwang ng Pasko at Bagong Taon. Mga araw na sila ay dapat na nasa kani-kanilang mga bahay at pamilya. Sinawalang bahala nila ang kabi-kabilang panganib na nakaamba sa kanilang tungkulin na walang kasiguraduhan kung sila ay makakauwi ng ligtas sa kanilang tahanan. Sa kabila ng kanilang mga sakripisyo, Madam Speaker, nakakalungkot na marami sa ating mga kababayan ang hindi nakikita ang kanilang kahalagahan sa ating bayan. Lest we forget that line workers are not just mere routine workers, but are important part of our nation building. In this time and age of advanced technology, having a steady supply of electricity is an utmost necessity. Unfortunately, these heroic deeds are underappreciated in the eyes of our countrymen. Being the first responders, the linemen are the first people to receive the complaints of those who are only thinking about the inconvenience of brownouts. Kaya naman, bilang kanilang kinatawan dito sa Kongreso, ako'y taos-pusong nagpapasalamat sa kanilang kabayanihan at sakripisyo para sa ating kababayan at para sa kanilang katatagan at katapangan na magbigay tulong kahit na marami rin silang pagsubok na hinaharap. Ang kwento ng buhay ng ating mga warriors of light ay nagpapatunay ng kanilang katapangan at sakripisyo para sa bayan, na kahit tayo'y sinalanta ng unos, mapalindol man o mapabagyo, ay kaya pa rin natin matulungan upang makaahon. This, my colleagues in this chamber, is what resiliency means. Resiliency is being steadfast in the midst of calamity. It is having the courage and spirit to face the adversities and believe that this will be surpassed. Maraming salamat po at muli ako'y lubos na sumasaludo sa katapangan at sakripisyo ng ating warriors of light.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the privileged speech of the Honorable Ebkas.
Guya.
I move that we refer the privileged speech of the Honorable Ebkas, or rather the Honorable Guya, to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, before we continue, may we recognize or acknowledge the presence of the guests of the Speaker Alan Peter Compañero Cayetano, the beauty queens from Mrs. Philippines Universe, Mrs. Philippines ASEAN, and Mrs. Face of Beauty. Mrs. Riza Dormiendo, Mrs. Philippines Face of Beauty International 2019, Mrs. Divina Gracia Carpio, Mrs. Philippines Southeast Asia 2019, Mrs. Marie Abigail Abalos, Mrs. Philippines National Universe 2019, and their publicist, Mr. Joey Sarmiento.
The guest of Speaker Peter Compañero Cayetano, please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we now recognize distinguished gentleman representing the Ako Padayon Party List, Congressman Adriano Ebkas, for his privileged speech. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Representative Adriano Ebkas of Party List Ako Padayon is now recognized.
Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues who make up this chamber, and our guests in the gallery, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. I rise today to relay the experience of those who have witnessed firsthand the onslaught of Typhoon Tisoy and Typhoon Ursula. Madam Speaker, as a matter of privilege, I would like to maximize this time to talk about a sector of society who had been underappreciated and noticed. They are the modern-day superheroes. In this society filled with technological advancement and globalization, to my esteemed colleagues in the House of Representatives, I am very proud to be given the opportunity to introduce to you the backbone of this country's a power industry, the men and women who have made it possible to light our roads and highways at night so we can return safely to our homes, keep our businesses functional, keep manufacturing running, and even for us to cool our scorching summer days, our very own linemen. The National Electrification Administration estimated that around 1.4 million households in 16 provinces in Luzon and Visayas were without electricity. Electric cooperatives throughout the country sent more than 900 linemen to take care of the harms brought about by Typhoon Tisoy and Ursula in the affected electric cooperative. We, the power block representatives of the rural electric cooperatives and member consumer owners, stood in solidarity with the victim of this catastrophe. Together with our linemen from the affected electric cooperatives, we have mutually re-established power to more than 500,000 families. On January 14 this year, more than 100 linemen from the Power Restoration Rapid Deployment Task Force team helped electric cooperatives on the ground to meet the full reclamation target. These warrior of lights needed to leave their own families and sacrifice their days off to help in the forced reclamation. They were anxious to rebuild the damaged and affected facilities at the earliest conceivable time. These warriors, our linemen, work day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. Be that as it may, regardless of these endeavors and forfeits, some affected areas experience a lower pace in rebuilding as compared to others due to the unforeseeable and uncontrollable conditions that Typhoon Tisoy and Ursula brought about. We call the attention of the government authorities and affected member consumers to make the best out of the circumstances and our current predicament. Ang ating mga linemen ay nalayo at hindi nakapagdiwang ng Pasko at Bagong Taon kasama ang kanilang mga pamilya dahil mas iniisip nila ang kapakanan ng ating mamamayan. Mas pinili nila magtrabaho at maglingkod sa gitna ng mga kasiyahan upang mapagbigay liwanag ang tahanan ng mga nasalanta ng bagyong Tisoy at Ursula. Madam Speaker, hanga ako sa tulong at serbisyo nila noong Typhoon Tisoy at Ursula dahil ang ating mga linemen ay nakauwi ng noong January 31 lamang para lang maibalik ang supply ng kuryente sa ba't ibang sambayanan. When one looks at the statistics, news articles and other data given to us by the media regarding power outages, it is human nature to perceive only our own inconvenience without regarding the hardship and struggles of the people who maintain and repair the transmission and distribution lines. These are the people who sacrifice their safety, to ensure electrification in their areas, raise our linemen, and they are one of the frontliners against power outages. I declare them as the modern superheroes, not to exaggerate their contribution to our economy. I declare them so to point out they literally risk their lives and voluntarily leave their families when duty calls. Madam Speaker, I would like to take this moment once again to recognize all of our linemen who helped during the Typhoon Tisoy, Typhoon Ursula, and the past catastrophes that we were able to surpass. Saludo kami sa kakayahan at kahusayan na pinakita ng ating linemen habang sila ay naglilingkod upang maibalik ang linya ng mga kuryente sa mga mamayang nanirahan sa Sorsogon, Bicol, Mindoro, Samar, Leyte, Biliran, Aklan, at iba't iba pang parte ng Pilipinas. Sa kabila ng masamang panahon ng kanilang dinanas, ang ating mga linemen ay nagpakita ng lakas ng loob at katapangan. Kahit na alam nilang malalagay sa panganib ang kanilang mga sarili. Madam Speaker, and my esteemed colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to be heard on this experience that we have encountered. Kaming mga bumubuo sa electric cooperatives ay hinding-hindi magsasawa, hindi matatakot at hindi susukong magbigay ilaw at masiguradong may tuloy-tuloy na supply ng kuryente kahit sa harap ng bagyo at panganib. Hindi mabubuo ang electric cooperatives kung walang ating mga magigiting na linemen. Maayong hapon kaninyong tanan at mabuhay ang ating mga linemen. Daghan salamat.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable EBCAS to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Is there objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we now recognize the gentleman representing APEC Party List, the Honorable Sergio Dagook, for his privileged speech. So moved.
Representative Sergio Dagook of Party List APEC is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, distinguished colleagues. Madam Speaker, the subject matter of my privileged speech this afternoon is about the expeditious passage of the measures we have filed in the House to honor and in appreciation of the hard work and heroism of our warriors of light. Madam Speaker, this representation, together with the rest of the power block representatives from Pilrica, Ricobuda, and Acopadayon, Filipino, rise before you today on a momentous event dedicated to recognize our selfless unsung heroes, our linemen who are here in the gallery. Para po sa lahat ng daan-daang magigiting na lineman na nandito ngayon, isang magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Madam Speaker, I feel very much honored to deliver this privileged speech because I am fortunate enough to be allowed a platform to serve as a voice for these underappreciated heroes of the energy sector. It gives me a pride that years ago, I was one of these men who are pleasing the interest of the nation more than the comforts of our homes. Before I became a congressman, I was a lineman for 9 long years, Madam Speaker. I started my 34 years employment with the Electric Cooperative and the Rural Electrification Program in 1984 as a lineman of Siargao Electric Cooperative. Madam Speaker, it was a hard life because at the time, linemen are only earning 25 pesos a day. But being a lineman was for me, a decent job because it feeds my family. For the years to follow, Madam Speaker, I juggled finishing my degree while working as a lineman in the electric cooperative. I go to school at night after my duty. Hindi ko po ikinakahiya na ako po ay isang lineman, Madam Speaker. Bilang lineman, sa katunayan, palagi ko po itong ibinahagi ng paulit-ulit upang magsilbing inspirasyon na lahat na nagsisimula sa ibaba ay walang ibang pupuntahan kundi sa itaas with the guidance of the Almighty Father. Ako po at ang mga lineman na ito ay nagsusumikap at ginawa ang aming mga tungkulin at taas noo po itong dadalhin bilang parte ng aming mga buhay saan man kami patungo, saan kami dadalhin ang kapalaran at saan man kami pupunta kagaya ko na napunta dito sa bulwagang ito. When I took an oath as representative of the people, it became a sacred duty for me to ensure that along with forwarding the interest of the greater good is a covenant to my humble beginnings as a lineman. Madam Speaker, hard work, perseverance, discipline, and fortitude, all of these are qualities essential to the people around here, my co-line workers. While safety and security are essential in choosing a career, most of us linemen do not have the luxury of certainty. Considering the meager pay and the hazard coupled with it, staying in this profession is definitely a matter of passion and dedication to serve not only our interests but to our countrymen and nation building in general. Sa katunayan po, Madam Speaker, ang pagiging lineman ay isa sa pinakadelikadong trabaho sa buong mundo. Sa bawat pag-akyat po namin sa poste, ay itinataya na po namin ang aming buhay habang kami ay nasa itaas. Dahil maaring anumang oras, Madam Speaker, makuryente kami. Kagaya noong nakalista kanina na more than 300 linemen na wala na po sa mundong ito. At the latest, Madam Speaker, ay yung taga-Capiz na si Lineman Biako na pinuntahan ko noong January 6 na nakuryente nung nag-repair siya ng linya sa Capiz Electric Cooperative. Para rin pong sundalo, Madam Speaker, ang mga lineman na kung saan kailangang magpailaw ay agad kaming tutugon. Kapag may kalamidad, ay agad kaming ipapadala upang ibalik ang kuryente. Araw man ang Pasko at Bagong Taon, ay nandoon kami sa taas ng mga posting iyon para maibalik lang ang convenience sa ating mga mamamayan. Madam Speaker, ang ating mga sundalo has been recognized by the government and by Congress. Sila po ang nagbibigay ng peace and order, kapayapaan, para ang mga investor natin ay papasok, magkaroon tayo ng trabaho, magkaroon ng taxes, collection revenue ang gobyerno para maihatid ang serbisyo. Ang mga lineman po, Madam Speaker, ay kagaya din po ng mga sundalo. In nation building, we need a robust economy. And our economy can only be fueled by reliable and least cost electricity. At hindi po mangyayari yung economy na yon, hindi po tatakbo ang mga industriya natin para magkaroon ng trabaho ang ating mga kababayan at magkaroon ng magandang kinabukasan ang susunod na henerasyon. Kung hindi po aakyat sa poste ang mga taong nandyan para patuloy na nadaloy ang kuryente. That's why they equally deserve the appreciation like that of all soldiers, Madam Speaker. Noong ako ay lineman, ay ganito rin po ang aking pinagdaanan. Kung kaya't ngayon po na ako ay naihalal bilang representante nila, ay hindi ko po sila talikuran. Sinisigurado ko po na ako ay magsusulong ng mga karampatang benepisyo at pagkilala sa kanilang mga sakripisyo. Habang ako po ay may pagkakataong isulong ang pagkilala sa kanila, ay gagawin ko po ito, Madam Speaker. Kaya lang po, Madam Speaker, ako po'y nalulungkot dahil habang itinataya namin ang aming buhay at ang National Electrification Administration ay pinamumunuan kami, mayroon pong mga grupo na wala na ngang naiambag na kabutihan sa ating bayan. Ang ginagawa ay palaging sinisira ang mga electric cooperative, ang liderato ng National Electrification Administration. Mayroon po tayong mga ahensya na nasa enerhiya na iniimbestigahan ngayon. Gusto lang nilang ilihis ang isyo. Bakit po ang liderato ng National Electrification at electric cooperatives na araw-araw ay itinataya ang buhay para maiangat ang ating bansa at kabuhayan ng ating mamamayan, ang kanilang pinupuntarya? Sana po ay maliwanagan sila na nandyan nakaupo sa Department of Energy yung dapat imbestigahan na iniimbestigahan na ngayon ng Committee on Energy. Madam Speaker, as legislators, the power bloc has filed bills to honor these men in the course of our first 100 days in Congress. Filing them was honoring my roots and remembering the hardships I faced. Once enacted into law, these bills will be contributing to the future of this noble profession. Through House Bill 472, which proclaims the first Monday of August of every year as Lineman Appreciation Day, this representation aims to recognize the unrelenting efforts of these linemen, which are often underappreciated. Under House Bill 3247, Madam Speaker, which also provides for additional insurance coverage of not less than 1 million pesos and benefits for all linemen and other power line workers, including all line workers in the energy sector, both from the private utilities and the 121 electric cooperative across the country. Through this act, Madam Speaker, the employers of our line workers will be required to shoulder the insurance premium, provide additional benefits, and these additional benefits shall consist of a retirement package, mortuary assistance of not less than 500,000, which shall triple if the line workers dies in the line of duty. This also includes disability benefits of 500,000 for any injury sustained while in line of duty and reimbursement of actual medical expenses up to 300,000. Wala pong gagastusin dito ang ating pamahalaan. dahil ang mag-shoulder nito lahat ay ang mga kanya-kanyang employer ng mga electric cooperative at private distribution utilities. Kaya wala po akong nakita na dahilan para hindi maipasa ang dalawang measures na yan. Ito po mga benepisyo na nararapat lamang para sa kanilang serbisyo na hanggang ngayon po ay ipinagkait pa sa kanila. Today, Madam Speaker, honorable members of this esteemed chamber, I call on the leadership of the House to answer our clarion call to recognize the heroism of our line workers. Through humanistic policy making, we can only aim to compensate for the dangers and risks they are facing every day, and pay to the tribute to our fallen linemen who sacrificed their lives in line of duty. More than the recognition, Madam Speaker, I also count on the wisdom of this honorable chamber for the expeditious passage of these bills. Let us work together to alleviate the living conditions by increasing their benefits and assuring them through legislation that we recognize their efforts and honor their significant contribution in nation building and sustainable rural development. Sa aking mga kapwang lineman na nandito ngayon, hindi dahil nandito ako sa Kongreso ay nakalimutan ko na nakalimutan ko na po kayo. Ang aking pinanggalingan, kung di bagkos, nandito ako sa Kongreso at ang tatlo nating mga kasamahan upang magkaroon po kayo ng kakampi at ng boses upang maisabatas ang inyong mga karapatan, at lubos po akong naniniwala na ang ating mga kinatawan na nandito ay kasama ko sa adhikaing ito. Sa lahat po ng mga kinatawan na bumubuo ng House of Representatives, delikado man po ang kanilang kasalukuyang trabaho bilang mga lineman, ay gagawin po nila araw-araw upang masisiguro ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa, hindi lang ng kanilang pamilya. Kaya nasa ating mga kamay na po ang kakayahang ito na maisabatas ang mga measures na tinutukoy ko. Sa lahat po ng mga kasamahan ko na mga gigiting na mga lineman na nandito ngayon at wala dito, isang pagpupugay po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang manggagawang marangal, matapang at magiting. Naway patnubayan kayong lahat ng poong may kapal. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we'd like to remind the honorable gentleman, Congressman Dagook, about Rule 16, Section 122, which says that members shall not avail of the privilege hour to speak on concerns that are principally and directly related to the subject matter of measures that are already pending in any committee or in plenary session. So we advise other members moving forward that if you would like to speak on measures, do so before you file, not after you file. But other than that, we'd like to refer the speech of the Honorable Sergio Dagook of APEC Party List to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So move.
Is there an objection? The speech of Congressman Dagook is referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, next to avail of the privilege hour. Madam Speaker, we have passed the 1 hour mark. We'd like to move to extend privilege hour by another 30 minutes. So move.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, next to avail of the privilege hour is the Honorable Juan Fidel Felipe Nograles of the 2nd District of Rizal. I move that he be recognized for his privilege speech.
Representative Juan Fidel Felipe Nograles of the second district of Rizal is now recognized.
Madam Speaker, my fellow representatives of the people, I stand on a matter of personal privilege about something very close to my heart. This matter is where I started my journey to become a member of this chamber. My journey is dedicated to make this matter happen. 10 years ago, Congress passed a landmark legislation providing free legal assistance for the poor, supposedly. Nobody will ever be wrongfully convicted anymore, only because he or she could not afford to pay for a lawyer to defend himself or herself, supposedly. While all lawyers were required to render a minimum number of hours per month of pro bono service, they were given a benefit of tax deduction for any legal assistance rendered over and above the minimum, supposedly. Why supposedly? Because it appears that it is not enough for Congress to pass a legislative measure, RA 9999, or the Free Legal Assistance Act of 2010. Why supposedly? Because it appears that it is not enough that the President signs the bill into law, signed on Feb 10, 2010 by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Why supposedly? Because the Supreme Court was supposed to formulate the implementing rules and regulations with respect to the legal services covered under the law, as well as the processes of accreditation of organizations and associations. And because the Bureau of Internal Revenue was supposed to formulate the necessary revenue regulations for the proper implementation of the tax component of the law. And both did not. 10 years after, still no implementing rules and regulations from the judicial branch of government, and still no revenue regulations from the executive branch of government. What little hope Congress offered to the poor, to those who could not afford to pay for a lawyer, to those whose lives and properties depended on whatever justice they could get from a system they could never understand, the Supreme Court and the BIR took away. They took it away by not making it happen despite the passage of the law. Madam Speaker, my fellow representatives of the people, we should not allow the judicial branch or the executive branch to render meaningless any law that we pass just by not formulating the rules and regulations necessary to implement the law. Otherwise, we become powerless and laughable. How many more laws have become useless for the same reason? Nobody knows. But this we know. For 10 years, countless of poor people were deprived of a lawyer. For 10 years, plenty of innocent indigents may have gone to jail without reason or lost their property without compensation, and the list goes on. For 10 years, access to justice was denied. Mr. Speaker, fellow representatives of the people, this is no longer justice delayed. This is already justice denied. We need to make sure that the laws we pass get implemented. We need to find a way to make the judicial and the executive branches of government do their share of the work. We need to provide hope for our people, especially the poor, that the law will protect them when they are in the right, that the law will defend them when they are wrongfully attacked, that the law will serve them even if they do not have money to pay. We need to make this Free Legal Assistance Act work, even if it is 10 years late. This humble representation verified the existence of the pertinent implementing rules and regulations to execute the law, and finding none, I hereby invite the Honorable Supreme Court and the Bureau of Internal Revenue to apprise the Congress as to the status of implementation of the said law, and finally, reach the law's set point by issuing the required rules and regulations. I am confident that we are all one in deeming this matter as long overdue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Nograles to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So move.
Is there an objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next to avail of the privilege hour is the Honorable Kaloy Zarate from Bayad Muna Party List. I move that he be recognized.
Representative Carlos Isagani Sarate is hereby recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Speaker. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ginoong Speaker, sa pagitan ng ika-alauna at alas 2 ng madaling araw, noong ika-7 ng Pebrero, ay sa pilitang pinasok ng mga armadong kapulisan ang opisina ng Katungod Sinirangang Visayas, ang chapter ng Human Rights Organization na Karapatan sa Region 8. Nasa gusali rin yun, Ginoong Speaker, ang opisina ng Bagong Alyansang Makabayan or Bayan at Sagupa, isang organisasyon ng mga magsasaka sa Tacloban. Kasabay ng mga panahong ngayon, Ginoong Speaker, payapang natutulog sa opisina sina Alexander Philip Abingona, Karapatan National Council member ng Eastern Visayas, si Mira Lehion ng Bagong Alyansang Makabayan or Bayan, Eastern Visayas, at si Marisa Cabalhao na siyang tagapagsalita ng People's Surge o ang organisasyon ng mga biktima ng Bagyong Haiyan at ang kanyang 1 taong gulang na anak. Sa raid na ito, lahat sila ay pinaghuhuli. Samantala, kasabay ng raid na iyon ay pinasok rin ng iba pang grupo ng mga armadong kapulisan ang opisina ng Rural Missionaries of the Philippines sa Eastern Visayas at ang media group na Eastern Vista sa Kalanipawan, Tacloban City. Dito ay pinaghuhuli rin ang staff ng RMP na si Mariel Dumakil at ang community journalist na si Frenchie May Compio. Tulad ng bulok na modus na ginawa sa iba pang mga aktivista at iba pang kritiko ng kasalukuyang pamahalaan, tinaniman ng mga baril at mga bomba ang mga opisina at saka inaresto ang mga natagpuan nilang mga tao sa loob ng opisina. Katulad ito, Ginoong Speaker, sa naging raid na ginawa din sa mga opisina ng mga progresibong grupo, kasama na ang aming opisina, ang bagong Bayan Muna Party List sa Bacolod City at sa Escalante City noong October 31, 2019. Nitong nangyaring raid sa Tacloban City, itong nakaraang mga araw, ilang araw bago nangyari ito, Ginoong Speaker, ay nakatanggap na ng ulat ang mga kasamahan namin sa posibleng paghahalughog sa mga opisina. Kasunod ito ng mahigpit na paniniktik na kanilang nakikita sa kanila. Sa katunayan, nakaschedule na nga na muling magpapa-inspeksyon sa Commission on Human Rights ang mga nasabing opisina upang mapatunayan lamang na walang bomba, walang baril o anumang iligal na mga kinukubli sa loob ng mga ito. At ang mga tao sa loob nito na nag-oopisina ay hindi mga armado. Ngunit bago pa man mangyari ang inspeksyon na gagawin sana ng Commission on Human Rights, ay tuluyan na ngang nilusob ang mga opisina ng mga armadong kapulisan. Ginoong Speaker, bitbit ang dati ng paratang ng mga nasa security sector na ang mga lehitimo at kinikilalang mga organisasyon sa media ay mga quote-unquote communist terrorist ay binibigyang katwiran nila ang pag-aresto at pagtanim ng ebidensya. Kasuklam-suklam itong mangbubusabu sa batas at direktang atake sa demokratikong karapatan ng ating mga mamamayan. Mariin namin itong kinokondina at hinihimok namin ang ating mga kapwa mambabatas na tutulan ang ganitong mga pakana laban sa ating mga mamamayan, lalo't higit sa mga kasamahan nating nasa media. Ang pangyayaring ito ay isa na namang patunay sa patuloy na pagkitid ng demokratikong espasyo sa ating bansa. Ang pag-aresto kay Prince May Compio, isang miyembro ng media group na Alter Media, ay mariing kinundin na rin ng National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Sa katunayan, Ginoong Speaker, noong Oktubre, akin pang maalala na sa bulwagang ito, si Frenchie May Compio at sinamahan niya ang ilang mga kababayan niya sa Eastern Visayas upang makausap ang kanilang mga kinatawan, lalo na sa mga usapin ng ayuda ng mga biktima ng bagyong Yolanda. Ang pag-aresto kay Prince ay hindi ang unang insidente ng pag-aresto sa isang miyembro ng media sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Kung ating matatandaan at ating babalikan, kasama sa 50 aktivistang inaresto sa mga magkasabay na raid sa Bacolod at Escalante, ang journalist na si Ann Kruger noong October 31 ng nakaraang taon. Sa kasalukuyan, Ginoong Speaker, inaatake na ang isang napakahalagang institusyon sa ating lipunan, ang mass media. Ang pag-aresto kay Ann Kruger at Frenchie Compio ay isang mapangalib na pangyayari, lalo na sa mga community at alternative media groups. Ang ginawa sa kanilang dalawa ay pawang pananakot ng mga puwersa ng Estado sa mga katulad nilang mamamahayag na nag-uulat ng mga pang-aabuso, sa partikular pang-aabuso ng mga ahente ng Estado sa mga magsasaka, katutubo, manggagawa at iba pang aping sektor sa ating lipunan. Nais busalan ng mga pasista ang mga reporter at manunulat, ang mamamahayag na inihihayag lamang ang mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao, korupsyon at iba pang mga isyong kinasusuklaman ng mga nasa posisyon at kapangyarihan. Hindi na malayo rito ang ginagawa din sa iba pang mga media outfits. Biktima rin ng red tagging o red baiting ang National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Gayon din ang marami pang mamamahayag at iba pang mga grupong dumedepensa para sa kalayaan ng pamamahayag or press freedom. Tuloy-tuloy, halimbawa, ang pang-uupat sa Rappler at sa Philippine Daily Inquirer upang ito'y magpasara. At sa kasalukuyan nga, tuloy-tuloy rin ang panggigipit at hindi pa rin naririnyo ng prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Ginoong Speaker, ang lahat ng mga ginagawang atake sa kasalukuyang administrasyon sa pamamahayag ay bahagi ng pagpipilit nitong patahimikin ang malayang pagpapalitan ng mga ideya at kuro-kuro at ipilit na ang tanging boses na mamamayagpag ay ang sa nakaupo sa Malacanang at ang mga nasa paligid nito. Halimbawa, hindi natin makakalimutan ang pag-ayaw ni Pangulong Duterte sa pagbabago o pag-renew ng franchise ng ABS-CBN. Ang sabi niya, I will see to it that you are out. Sa kabila ng nasa kapangyarihan naman ng lehislatura ang pagbibigay o pag-renew ng prangkisa ng mga broadcast networks, magkakahiwalay ang kapangyarihan ng lehislatura, hudikatura at ehekutibo para hindi mapasakamay ng isang sangay ang kapangyarihan. Pero parang naging taliwas dito ang realidad. Likas nang lumalabas sa bibig ng kasalukuyang administrasyon at mga tauhan nito ang mga katagang bias, dilawan, bayaran, ukol sa mga media outfits, mga atake sa mga independenteng media outfits na hindi lamang press release ang gobyerno ng kanilang ibinabalita o nilalathala. Maging ang ginagawa nitong National Task Force to End the Local Communist Armed Conflict or NTF-ELCAC ay naging instrumento upang atakihin ang mga kritikal na mamamahayag bilang mga kaaway raw ng Estado. Ang mga alternative media outfits ay sumailalim sa magkakasunod na cyber attacks nitong mga nakaraan at cyberbullying. Malala pa nga dahil ang mga miyembro ng alternative media ay hinaharas din, kinukulong, kinakasuhan ng mga gawa-gawang kaso. Ipinapakita ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ang kanyang bagsik sa determinadong pag-atake sa mga nabanggit ko ng media outlets, Rappler, Inquirer, ABS-CBN. Kung kaya nitong ipasara ang mga outlets na ito, media outlets na ito, ano pa kaya ang laban ng mga maliliit na alternative news outfits katulad ng Bulatlat at Altermedia? Ang usapin ng pagsasara ng mga media outlets ay hindi pagdidepensa sa mga negosyong ito. Ito ay isyu ng pagtatanggal ng isang media outfits ng buong makinarya at impluensya ng Estado. Usapin ito ng administrasyong tila may pabrika ng disinformasyon at kasinungalingan. Ito rin ay usapin ng kabuhayan ng maraming taong mawawalan ng trabaho kapag ito ay naipasara. Buhay ang kalayaan ng pamamahayag dahil ang mga mamamahayag at ang mamamayang Pilipino ay naninindigan para dito. Hiling namin na maging bahagi tayo, Ginoong Speaker, at mga kapwa kong mambabatas sa laban para depensahan ang kalayaan sa pamamahayag. Demokrasya, hindi tiraniya. Kalayaan ng pamamahayag, ipaglaban. Malayang pamamahayag, isang malayang mamamayan. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Kaloy Zarate to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So move.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to avail of privilege hour, I move that we terminate privilege hour.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, given that copies of the journal were already distributed to the members, I move that we approve Journal number 43, dated February 12, 2020. So move.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other agenda to be tackled today, I move that we adjourn session until tomorrow, February 18 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I object.
So moved.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The session is hereby adjourned and the session will resume Feb 18 at 3 o'clock. Objection ako, hindi ako pinakinggan.
Wala na nakinig.
Lalaro ka?
I move that we recognize the Honorable President.
Tama ako sa paa. Ha? Bahala na.